It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show and more grand finals to talk about now. Northern Areas football is where we're headed next with the great Graham Spud McKay, who joins me on the line. Spud, how are you, mate?
Pretty good, thanks, Jace. Yeah, really good day last Saturday, and Crystal Brooks did a great job at hosting the grand final.
A relief for everyone, I think, just to get through a grand final day, given the season that has been, Spud.
Certainly was, yes. It was a sigh of delight. I know the secretary would have been very relieved. Tracy Smith would have been really relieved on Sunday morning to have got through.
No doubt. So let's have a look at the results. We'll start with the Littlands, the under-14s, who kicked the dew off the ground at just after 9 o'clock. Your Jamestown Peterborough boys were playing in this grand final against Broughton Mundura, of course, were represented in all four grand finals. And it was pretty even to three-quarter time, but Broughton Mundura ran away with it in the last quarter.
Yeah, Broughton Mundura have been the best side all year, but they were winning by a lot bigger margin than this. And Jamestown Peterborough, I thought, did a really good job. It was a tight, contested game and was probably, certainly wasn't a blowout like we thought might have happened. And I guess that's probably credit to Jackson Clark, who won the best and fairest for the association, and was Jamestown Peterborough's best and fairest too, of course. But he had a big influence on the game. But Broughton Mundura were just too good with their Cooper Firm and Charlie Dickinson, their runner-up in the medal. They were instrumental in getting them over the line. So well done to Broughton Mundura.
Indeed, and Jackson Barnes named best for them. You mentioned Charlie Dickinson. He booted 2 goals along with Barnes for Broughton Mundura. You also mentioned young Clark there for Jamestown Peterborough. He was named best for them along with Joseph Simpson, Clark, Fitzgerald and Andrews. So good game of footy. Final scores there 8-9-57 to Jamestown Peterborough 4-5-29. That took us through to the Senior Colts Grand Final, and it was Broughton Mundura again going up against Orroroo here, and it certainly wasn't as close as the Junior Colts. Broughton Mundura comfortable winners in the end, 15-16, 106 to Orroroo, 5-1-31, Spud.
Yeah, at quarter time we thought we had a game on our hands because Broughton Mundura trailed by 10 points. But that was the closest Orroroo got because then the superior ability of Broughton Mundura shone out, and Trevor Sims, who was the junior coach for Northern Areas Coach of the Year, he had them ticking over nicely, and they won fairly convincingly. So that was a great win for them, and again, they've been fairly well up around the top all year.
We had Luke Fowler booting 5 goals for Broughton Mundura, Sims, Coombe and Townsend their best. And for Orroroo, we've got to say Eli Ackland kicked a couple of goals and was in their best along with Naismith, Clark, Dygan and Bo Mann. So the next generation they're coming through for Orroroo.
Yeah, they are. Look, Orroroo probably only had about 12 or 13 actual senior Colts, and they had a fill-up with junior Colts. But well done to them. They've got through. Teams have lent them players during the year, and the players that they had were quality players. So they will feature in Orroroo's senior team in years to come.
Yep. Broughton Mundura again in the reserves, taking on the home side, Crystal Brook. And how do you silence a home crowd? Well, you start well. And just like the Western Bulldogs did against Port Adelaide, Broughton Mundura did exactly that. They were 6-2 up at quarter time and never looked back from that point on.
Yeah, wasn't that a big turnaround from the week before where we only had 4 goals scored for the whole match? So we thought we had a really good game going here, but Broughton Mundura, yeah, they were just too good, a little bit too quick for Crystal Brook, and they were over at the end of the game. They were just far too superior. So well done to Broughton Mundura in the B grade.
Nash McFarlane booted 4 goals for Broughton Mundura, and Rhodes. That's Damien Rhodes. He booted a couple as well. Freo, Browen, Sims, Edwards and Klingberg the best for the winners. And for Crystal Brook, it was Seymour, O'Day, Palmer, Crouch and Pater named in their best. And that took us through to the big game, the A-grade grand final of this stage. Broughton Mundura looking for the clean sweep, Spud. And they didn't start too bad. They would have gone into the sheds pretty confident at half-time, I would have thought.
Yeah, it was a funny game because Orroroo got away to a good start and sort of led 3-2 to 1-4 at quarter time. But at half-time, Broughton Mundura had turned it around and looked as though they were starting to trouble Orroroo a little bit with their speed around the ball. But then Orroroo came out after half-time and obviously Matt Dignan had sort of worked a few things out for them and they started to win more of the ball. And sort of then from then on, their last quarter was really good because they kicked 4 goals to only a point in the last quarter. And I guess if we look at it, Orroroo were the superior side throughout the year. They were sort of always either on top, well, they were on top of just about every round. But it was interesting because some of the best players probably, I saw it perhaps a little bit different, but the poor old backline, they very rarely get mentioned in your best players because it's your on-ballers that seem to get all the notes. But I thought Jonathan Barley did a pretty good job on William Hewitt, who didn't score a goal, and he was the leading goal kicker for the year. So that was an excellent effort by Biz Barley there. And Damien Ellery at full-back only allowed Dylan Hewitt 2 goals, and Dylan sort of didn't play at full forward all day. He sort of went onto the ball for a bit and went down the ground. But Luke Bowman was actually their best, and he was in the ruck, and he had to come off with a shoulder injury there early, and they thought they might have been in a bit of trouble when he limped off with the bad shoulder, but he managed to come back and he performed really well after that. So he actually got the medal for the best on ground there, the John Noonan Memorial Trophy. So well done to Luke. For Broughton Mundura, it was probably Mitchell Bowley was about their best. He was playing off a half-back flank there. Bryce Damon and Tom Whelan at centre-half back. So we're sort of mentioning quite a few backline players there. And I guess the scores perhaps indicate that a little bit because it was not a high-scoring A-grade final, but it was certainly an entertaining grand final, and it was well worth the crowd that was able to go there to witness that.
12,779 to 7,850 is how it finished. Only 2 points in it at three-quarter time. As you mentioned, Orroroo running away with it in the last quarter. And just to add some insult to injury for William Hewitt, who was kept goalless in the grand final. He finished the year on 70 goals, obviously winning the minor round goal-kicking award, and that's where the goal-kicking award comes from. But Nick Hompsh's 4 goals in the grand final put him to 71 for the season. So even he went past him in the grand final.
Yeah, Nick played well, apart from the qualifying final where he sort of missed where he sort of couldn't find the big uprights. He kept on sort of spraying him around, and that was quite unlike him, but that sort of jolted him into action in the preliminary final and in the grand final. So, he's had a really good season for Orroroo, and him, along with Patrick McCarthy, they've been the key forward articles for Orroroo in order to put the score on the board.
Indeed, other good players for Orroroo, Matthew Delmenico and Duffy named to the best there for Broughton Mundura, Bally, Damon, Doling and Whelan. And Spud, that's the season done. Can you believe we managed to get through it?
Well, we did a great job, but I'd like to thank you, Jace, and Flow FM for putting the time into presenting the country sport. And I don't know whether we contribute a lot, but I certainly probably don't contribute a lot, but you do as a station. And, I'd like to thank you for that because it puts Northern Areas out there, and you can never sort of have too much publicity towards making your association better.
Love chatting to you, mate. Thank you for all of your input into the show again this year. Look forward to chatting with you again in 2022, and all the best for the coming harvest, mate. May there be plenty in the bin at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's sort of we're struggling for a rain year at the moment, so we got to keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't leave it too late. But no, thanks for that, Jace, and we'll see. Hopefully, we're back in action again